Hey guys, welcome to this video. So I stream on Twitch quite often. I love it. I think it's a blast, right? And a lot of people ask me about my hardware for audio, how I use my mixer, how I make audio work with my Xbox, with my PC, how I plan on making it work when I make my streaming PC in about a year from now. So I made a quick PowerPoint presentation. I figured this was the easiest way to do it. And here we go. So let's just start off right with the mixer and the first input. So here for the hardware we have right now, this is the Pro FX 8 version 2 from Mackie. What I really like about this is it only has 2 inputs with XLR mono, and then the other 6 are either mono, XLR, or stereo, left and right, for lines 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, 8. Also, there's 2 options to how the microphone is used in this setup. So you can either have a straight XLR microphone, whichever XLR microphone you want, it'll work. For this, I just threw up any kind of XLR. I'm not currently using an XLR setup. I'm using the mod mic setup. Now, with this, you can get the XLR 48 volt adapter that mod mic makes. Now, when you put it into this XLR adapter into the Mackie mixer, you need to have the phantom power on. That's a big one. So you won't hear anything coming from your mic if you don't have the phantom power on. I'll talk more about phantom power in the next slide, and you'll understand more when we get there. So really, honestly, it's simple setup. This first input is just, if you're using the mod mic, it's the XLR adapter to the mod mic 5, and that's it. Same with option 2, which is no phantom power, so you don't destroy your XLR microphone, and that is just straight to your microphone, to the mixer. Easy peasy, too easy. Alright, now to input 2. So input 2, this one, I don't have anything on it right now, right, because I have the phantom power on. But if you wanted to and you have an XLR microphone, what you can do is you can get this this cable right here, which is a Cable Matters 1/8 inch or 3.5 millimeter to XLR cable, male to male, 6 feet. Right. I'll put a link in the description of this video of all the cables and everything that we talk about during this by input. That way you can kind of correlate what I'm talking about and seeing what it is on a website or something like that. But really, honestly, all this does is it allows you to use a tablet, a phone, another laptop, whatever, for your music. However you want to use your music in stream, if you want to send music from, your phone to your Xbox audio without having, like you playing it into a microphone, like you hear some of these people doing while you're playing, and it's super obnoxious and annoying. I'm not telling you to do this because it is annoying, but if you wanted to, you could do this and it comes in crystal clear. For input 3 now, so input 3, 4, this is where, we start getting to the meat and potatoes of things, right? So from 3, 4, I have a Hosa CMP-153, which is just a 3.5 millimeter stereo, which is this right here, to a dual 1/4 inch mono, which is a 6.3 millimeter, which is this, right? So it's just a stereo into the monos. So the monos will go into 3, 4. The stereo will go into this MPOW. The MPOW is a ground loop noise isolator. Anytime you go from a digital audio to a physical audio that's going into your mixer, right? So you're going from something that's powered into your mixer, you're going to need a ground loop isolator, or else you're going to have this obnoxious buzz in all of your audio, and it's super annoying, and you'll drive yourself nuts. And honestly, it's worth the money. I think they're like $10. Again, link in the description below. and it'll set you up. If you don't want to use this one, that's fine. Use whatever you want, but I've known these ones to work really well. But if you, again, like you said, if you want to save a couple bucks and you want to find something else, that's fine. But I strongly, strongly, strongly suggest anything that's plugged into the wall that is going into your mixer needs to have one of these ground loop isolators. So from the ground loop isolator, you're going to need a just regular 3.5 millimeter stereo to stereo, male to male cable, right? Just your stereotypical audio cable. Whatever length you need. Again, all these lengths that are going to be in the description are just the ones I use. You might have a totally different setup where you need to go further or shorter. Just get the lengths that you think you're going to need. Take out the measuring tape and go from there. But this is honestly just from the ground loop isolator to the green line out in the back of your computer, right? So this is literally just the sound you're going to get from your gaming PC. So all the sound that comes from your gaming PC to the mixer. Now, input 5.6. If you have a streaming PC and you're using a dual PC, this is the system you're going to need. It's the exact same as 3.4, but it just goes, or it's the exact same as 3.4, but it's just going to go into 5.6, right? So same thing out of the back of your PC, which is your green line out, to your 3.5 millimeter stereo audio, to your ground loop isolator, then to your stereo to mono. Boom. Done. Now 7.8. This is where it gets a little complicated, right? So 7.8 is essentially all of your console systems that you want to use, right? I'm going to be talking about the Xbox One because that's what I have set up. I know that you can set up the PS4. You can probably set up a Twitch, or no, Twitch. What am I? The Nintendo Switch, sorry. You can set up any console you want that has audio in order to hear it through your headset and to use it to stream or whatever you want to use, right? So what I have here is a Hosa CPR-201. It's a dual one or quarter inch TS, so mono, to dual RCA stereo interconnect cables. So really it's just mono red, mono black, mono black. Left right channels, too easy. And then those go to a Rolls MX51S Minimix 2 4-channel stereo line mixer. So I don't use channel 1 because it's just an XLR. But I use 2, 3, and 4, or you can use 2, 3, and 4. I only use 2 and 3, and you'll see how I use it in the following slide. So this is like the start of input 7.8, and then we're going to continue on the next slide with a continuation of 7.8 from just the Rolls Minimix 2. All right, so from the Rolls Minimix 2, you're going to have the output from your mixer coming in to here, right, with the cable that we talked about earlier. Now, channel 2 input is going to my Xbox One, or your Xbox One X, or any Xbox, or your PS4, or any of that, right? It's going to have the cable here, which is the, I have the Passau, right? It could be any cable you want to use. It's a 3.5 millimeter stereo male to 2 RCA male, right? So from these RCAs in the back, it's going to go to the ground loop isolator. I would find a better cable than this. I ended up having to rebuy a better cable. So what I'll do is, in the description for this, I will put the better cable that I have for this, not this this Passau one. But from the ground loop isolator, again, a 3.5 millimeter stereo to the back of a Turtle Beach DSS, the original one. You can use the DSS2. It's a slightly different setup. I like the DSS because it's a 7.1 surround sound instead of the DSS2, which is only a 5.1. I much prefer the DSS over the DSS2. And so from there, you're going to have a fiber optic audio cable from the back of the DSS-1 to the back of your Xbox game input for sound. Okay, so quick caveat: this USB cable, this USB power right here, power it to an outlet, not to the Xbox. So then that way it helps reduce some ground loop, right? So any time that the power can go to, an actual, like a grounded source, that's the best thing you can do. So you never want to take this and then put it into your Xbox and power it that way. It's just going to add more interference. So to avoid some of that, then I would strongly suggest to take this and then just use one of those little, cell phone chargers, plug it into an outlet, and it'll help a lot. For input channel 3, right, because of the Xbox, it's a little different than your PS4 and how you get sound. So for this, you're going to use the same cable that you used from the previous explanation. It's just going to come from the channel 3 input to the ground loop isolator. Again, right, it's just the RCAs to the stereo 3.5 millimeter jack. From there, from the ground loop isolator, you're going to bring it to a 3.5 millimeter stereo cable to a headphone port of the headset buddy. The headset buddy is the let's see, where is it? I have it in the description here. The King Top, it's a 2-pack 3.5 combo audio adapter cable. So that is this right here. Okay, it's called usually people call them headset buddies. Let me do this real quick. All right, so 3.5 to 3.5 stereo to the actual headset portion of the headset buddy. You need to get one of these Xbox adapters. You need to get one of these Xbox adapters right here, or else it's not going to work. You can't just plug it straight into the Xbox controller. I don't know why. It just doesn't work. And also, you have to set this so that all you hear in this setup, all you hear is just the chat, not the game volume, but just the chat volume. So you need to set up so you only hear chat volume, because you're already hearing all of the game sound from your DSS-1. So that is it. That's your voice chat from your friends to you. And that's how you hear it into your mixer. All right. And then channel 4 could be for your PlayStation 4 or whatever, right? It's just an extra channel that you have. All right. Now, from there, you're going to have the FX Send. So what FX Send does is it sends your microphone sound to your Xbox, your PC, whatever device you want your microphone to be on. So for this, I'm going to have it go to my gaming PC, my streaming PC, and also my Xbox. But really, it's a simple stereo HOSA cable. It's the CSS-103. It's a 1/4 inch TRS to 1/4 inch TRS balanced interconnect cable. Just goes from the FX Send to the input of this Microamp HA400 by Behringer. I love this thing. It is awesome. It allows you to control the volume of your voice in your gaming PC, your streaming PC, and also your Xbox. It is awesome. You can also control it by the FX Send on all of your inputs, or you could just control it here on your input 1, right? So if, say, I wanted my voice, which is the whole point of this, to get sent to all these channels here, I would move this FX Send knob up to a comfortable level. Obviously test all this stuff before you go live or talk to your buddies or whatever in order to make it sound right. But yeah, so you're going to adjust these FX knobs. You want all these other FX knobs to 0, right? Because you don't want your chat to hear your game sound or your streaming sound or hear themselves talk by having like a loop of their chat going back through your chat sound, right? It can get complicated, right? So just really honestly, the best thing to do is keep all of these FXs at 0 all the way to the left, pinned to the left, and then using the far left one, which your microphone's hooked into, to a volume that sounds good. Alright, so the FX send continue. This is where it gets kind of crazy. So we're going to work from the bottom up this time instead of the top down like we did before. So you're going to go from stereo, because this is a stereo headphone amplifier, right? But it works for what we're using it for. It's honestly just like a small stereo mixer. So you're going to have a stereo 1/4 inch TRS to a 3.5 millimeter stereo on both channels 1 and 2. They're both going to go to these little Sabrent USB. It's like a little USB sound card, right? The reason I use these, right, is that you can kind of adjust the sound a lot better, I think. It also gets a little bit of a hum out, so it has its own kind of ground loop isolation, so that's also a huge benefit. They're like $10, $15, I think. I think these Sabrent ones, they're like metally, they have like a metal case, so I think they're a lot better than the plastic ones. That's just me. I use these ones. They're great. Again, just a suggestion. If you want to use something cheaper, by all means, try it out. But if you don't want to buy them, also, you can just put it right into the pink microphone port in the back of your PC. Both options work. I would just test them and see if you need these sound cards, these little mini sound cards. And if you need them, then buy them. If you don't need them, perfect. You just save yourself 10, 20 bucks. So one goes to your gaming PC, and one goes to your streaming PC. That's it. That's simple. Now, for your Xbox, it gets a little more complicated. Again, same cable. It's the CMS-103. It's the 1/4 inch TRS to the 3.5 millimeter stereo that goes into a ground loop isolator. This is huge, ground loop isolator, because, again, you're hooking it up to a controller that has batteries, so then it's going to have some ground loop because it isn't able to dissipate all of the grounding issues. So you're going to get that hum. Then you go from the 3.5 millimeter to 3.5 millimeter stereo, regular audio cable from the ground loop isolator to the microphone port of the headset buddy. That's a big one. So you want it in this one right here. That way your voice chat goes out to your friends. Okay? And now, essentially, this is the last part. Well, there's one more slide, but you'll see the last one's pretty funny. So this one is a way for you to take all of your sound that is coming to the mixer and bringing it to your streaming PC in order for everybody to hear it through your stream. And again, it's a similar cable that we spoke about earlier. It's the CPR-201. It's a dual mono TS to dual RCA stereo interconnect, right? So mono red, mono black, mono black. Going out from the mixer to this Behringer U-Control UCA 202. Really all it is it's a USB Interact sound card that just collects all the mixer sound, comes into this box, translates it into USB connection, and then goes to your streaming PC, and then you can put it into your Streamlabs OBS or whatever streaming system you use. And then honestly, last is just the headphones. Whatever headphones you have, just put them right into this headphone jack, and you're good to go. That is it. That is the setup. It will work. It is fantastic. There's other things that you can do with this mixer, and by all means, play around with it. It's fun. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, leave them down in the description. Other than that, guys, that's all I have for you. I really hope this was helpful. And again, if there's any way I can help, by all means, leave it in the description, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. Alright guys, you have a good night. Later.